Hello, everyone. Welcome to Explore Interests, Branding, and Partnerships. We're excited to have you all here today. I'd like to recognize everyone here who is experiencing Step Up for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Tell us where you're tuning in from in the chat and what you're excited to gain from this session. We look forward to getting to know you more. So we are young adult programs. You can go to the next slide, please. Your guides as you explore interests and throughout your journey to success at Step Up. I'm Sophia, the Director of Young Adult Programs, and I'm tuning in from LA today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jess Mara, and I am the Young Adult Programs Manager, tuning in from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Aja might not be able to unmute, but she is our Recruitment Associate and tuning in from Springfield, Illinois. And then Elizabeth, I think you can introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Elizabeth Rojas, and I'm the Data Science Associate for this team, and I'm tuning in from LA. Before we officially get started, I'd love to share a few friendly reminders. We'd love to ask that everyone take a moment and adjust their display name to reflect three things: your name, your role, and the pronouns that you use. It's really important to put down your role, whether you are a young adult, if you are from the ages of 18 to 29, or a mentor, so that we can sort you into the right breakout rooms later. We would also love if everyone was able to turn on your cameras to please do so. Even though we're not physically in person, we'd love to create that feeling, and it supports us in creating an intimate, safe space for everyone. All participant mics will be on mute until we go into our breakout sessions. So feel free to add your positive comments and your reactions in our chat box at the bottom of your screen. Also, as a reminder, we will be recording this session to share out with the folks who are not able to join us today. Additionally, if you need any support with anything at all throughout the event, please feel free to message us on the chat. Thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Visible. Visible is reimagining what wireless should be: simple, accessible, and inclusive. They are committed to helping people in need connect to their basic needs: food, work, and community. Through its support of Step Up's Explore Interest program series, Visible is inspiring the next generation of leaders to consider how they can drive change in their communities by pursuing their unique dreams of success. Thank you, Visible, for your support in our success as well. Our hope for our time together is that you all learn how a multitude of roles in various industries can align toward a common interest: branding and partnerships, and how to create a career path by following your interests, values, and skills with the help of our mentors today. We will start with a quick icebreaker game and then hear from a panel of interest experts. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions, and then we'll go into breakout rooms and do some mentoring and networking. I suggest you have your LinkedIn profile open and ready to connect for that. We will then return for a larger group reflection and go over some exciting announcements. Mentors, your role is to model participation by having your cameras on, being present, engaging in the chat, and sharing career advancement tips and resources with the young adult programs community. I'm going to pass to Jess Mara to lead us through our icebreaker game.
Thanks, Sophia. All right, so the name of the game is Guess the Job in Branding and Partnerships. So we're going to put some clues as to what the job title could be on the slide, and you can put your guesses in the chat. All right, here we go. So the first one, this person values creating awareness of the organization, brand, and products. Their interests are writing engaging content, branding, marketing, partnerships, and social media. Their strengths and skills: engage with the brand communities across social media platforms, innovative and creative thinker, ability to identify trends and challenges, and their mindset is don't delay, acting on a good idea. So drop those guesses in the chat. What job title do we think this is? Social media manager, influencer partnerships manager. And get a few more guesses before we reveal it. Any other guesses? Did I stump you all already? Okay, well, we'll keep going. Tracy, can you reveal the answer? So this person is content creator, which can be multiple different titles. So I would say Ro and Stacy are both correct as well. All right, this next person values nurturing relationships and communities. Their interests are relationship building, presenting, and advocating. Some of the strengths and skills they possess might be masterful relationship building and relationship management, strategic thinking and innovation, and exceptional communication and project management skills. And their mindset is teamwork is the dream work. Drop those guesses in the chat. Community manager, membership manager, community partnerships manager. Okay, this one got some more answers or more guesses. Community engagement manager, specialist, CSR manager. Seeing a lot of manager, a lot of engagement, community marketing coordinator. Awesome. So this person is a strategic partnerships manager. Also can go by a few different titles. So very great guesses. All right. And our last person values leadership, relationships, and creativity. Their interests are project management, social media and digital marketing, and storytelling. Some of the strengths and skills they have are excellent communication, innovative and creative thinker, analytical skills, ability to identify trends and challenges. And their mindset is nothing sticks in your head better than a story. Creative director, digital marketing manager, full-time influencer, great guess. Brand marketing leader. Awesome. Okay, and this person is creative marketing manager. Nice, Danielle, way to put us right into our answer for a marketing manager. Awesome. Great job. Stumps us every time as always, but thank you for playing. Passing back to Sophia.
Thanks, Jasmira. Thanks everyone for participating. I'm really excited to introduce you to our moderator for today's Explore Interest panel, Rocio Ramirez. Rocio is a Step Up alumna and first-generation Mexican-American digital talent manager with a demonstrated history of working in the entertainment industry. She began her entertainment career at CAA, assisting agents in the TV alternative and global client strategy departments, and then transitioned to Collab Inc., a digital talent agency. As a digital talent manager, Rocio helps content creators on various platforms to turn social media fame into diversified businesses. She focuses on diverse creators whose content is rooted in authenticity and has room for growth. Her clients have appeared in Paper Magazine, Vogue Mexico, and the LA Times, and she has worked with notable brands such as Calvin Klein, Target, Denny's, and Canva, to name a few. Rocio aims to add value to each of her clients' social media careers and help in fulfilling their dreams of becoming full-time content creators. When Rocio is not consuming content, you can find her planning her next travel adventure or checking out the new trendy restaurant in town. Rocio, so nice to have you. I'm so happy you are moderator today. Welcome, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to be here today. I guess I need new headshots because I have red hair now. But hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to be moderating this panel and learning more about our interest experts today. So I'll go ahead and introduce everyone. So our first panelist is Dalisbeth Galvez. Dalisbeth Galvez is the public relations manager for Verizon's Visible Wireless brand, the first all-digital wireless carrier in the US. As PR manager, Dalisbeth leads the day-to-day strategic press efforts for campaign launches, device launches, and more. Dalisbeth earned her bachelor's in journalism from Lehigh University and master's in branding and integrated communications from the City College of New York. She is based in New York with her rescue dog, Drogo. Drogo or Drago. Sorry. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But welcome, Dalisbeth. Our next panelist is Cheryl Look, is a content creator and a tastemaker based in Los Angeles. She started her blog, Walk in Wonderland, in 2010 to share her unique point of view on fashion and has since been creating diverse content with a fashion edge for more than a decade on Instagram and more recently on TikTok. Finally, meet Eliana. Eliana Rosselli is currently Senior Director of Partnerships at The A-List, where she spearheads paid partnerships for national brands, including J.Crew, Madewell, Rothy's, and Seed. Prior to The A-List, she was a talent manager at a top Hollywood management firm, Untitled Entertainment, securing and negotiating brand deals for notable actors like Jane Fonda, Hunter Schafer, and Emily Ratajkowski, among many others. She began her career as an executive assistant to 3 agents, rising up the ranks to become an agent at APA before becoming a manager. Rosselli is Cuban American and attended Florida State University. She currently resides in Los Angeles. So welcome, panelists. I'm so happy to be that you guys are here. So we'll jump right into the questions that we have prepared for you guys, as well as any that may come from the audience today. So my first question, I would like all of you guys to answer to get to know a little bit more about the work that you do. So can you guys tell us about your role in branding and partnerships? And Cheryl, I guess we can start with you.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Cheryl and content creator for about 13 years now. What I do is I create content for brands that they can repurpose for their marketing materials or for their paid materials for social media or newsletters. So yeah, most of my content is primarily fashion, and I do a little bit of beauty as well as lifestyle as well.
Eliana, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I'm a senior director of brand partnerships here at the A-List. I run a team of about 5 people. We work on influencer campaigns and celebrity partnerships with J.Crew, Madewell, Rothy's, as we mentioned. Cheryl, we actually worked with you last year, I think, on a UMG campaign for Father's Day. So it's exciting to see you again.
And then I guess I'll jump in. Hi, everyone. My name is Dalisbeth Galvez. As you've heard, I am the public relations manager over at Visible. We are part of Verizon. And what my role entails is I spearhead a lot of the press outreach, so that spans everything from online press, broadcast, print. So I cultivate relationships with a lot of journalists so that we can, make sure that consumers are aware of our brand, the initiatives that we're working on. And what's also great is that I get to collaborate with a lot of my different team members across the entire organization to understand how I can better craft that narrative and that story about what we're doing.
That's awesome. I feel like all of you guys have storytelling within your job titles, and that's awesome. That's great to hear. So Dalisbeth, how did you turn your interest into a career?
Thanks for that question. I love that question because for me, that story is, near and dear to my heart. It's something that I always remember. So I originally, went to college for civil engineering, but I didn't actually end up studying that. I wanted to stay true to, what my passion was, but at the time I wasn't quite sure what that was. And through being involved on campus as a freshman and being around my community, I'm a proud Latina, so making sure that, I found a community in my university was everything. And so making our campus aware of the pride that we had, having people attend our events. I was doing those things that I enjoyed so much. And I thought to myself, why shouldn't I turn this into a career? I always envisioned, enjoying each and every day, and calling work something that wasn't quite work. So that's how I ended up in the career that I have. Unfortunately, when I studied at Lehigh, there wasn't a public relations major, so I went in a different route. I had to create a path to get to where I wanted. And so I studied journalism, and the rest is history. From there, internships, getting work experience, you name it.
Awesome. I love that you said you created your own path, that you didn't see what you wanted out there. And so that's pretty cool. You guys can feel free to jump in if you have any input into the questions, and we can go from there. Eliana and Cheryl, you guys want to share? No, I already did it, sorry.
Yeah, Cheryl, you go first.
Oh,
Yes, how did you turn your interest into a career?
yeah, I started, it was a total hobby thing. I mean, I was always fascinated with like fashion and, styling. And so I started documenting my outfits years ago. And I used to work in a boutique as well. I should start with that first. And every time I would like style the mannequin or merchandising and everything, people always like, oh, I love what you put together. And sometimes I will wear the pieces that I'm actually selling. Sometimes I always get like, I love what you just did. And you're also petite, you're 5'2". How did you do it? And like, it's all about, so I started documenting and inspiring people in some ways, like, no, you can still wear this. It's just knowing about your body type. So that's how I kind of started. And back then, the influencer world was very small. It was just starting out. So I was kind of at the forefront of it. I started a blog. That's how it all got started. And now here we are.
Yeah, it's impressive that you've been doing this since 2010. So you're a veteran and in the digital space, but I'm glad that you're still pursuing that.
I do love what I do, and it's always evolving. So that makes it very, very interesting.
Sure.
I would say for me, it was Hollywood was the passion, and pop culture, and just finding a job that makes sense. I originally came out to LA wanting to be a casting director, and I tried one internship and absolutely hated it. It was just not for me in any way, shape, or form. And then I wound up getting an assistant job at a little boutique commercial agency called Independent Artists. And I just fell in love with the fast-paced nature of the deals and kind of the wheeling and dealing. And I really enjoyed it. It let me use all parts of my brain and creativity while moving very, very quickly and not being stuck on the same project for a long time. So that's kind of how I transformed all this into this larger career now. Dumb luck is the answer.
That's interesting. And I'm actually going off of that. I'm curious to know what parts of your personality, such as values and strengths, indicated that you were on the right career path.
I think I could work within a men's field because I'm also a little obnoxious sometimes. And so I wasn't afraid to be very loud. And thankfully I had a family that was really supportive and, was very much like, you don't need to settle with anybody. So I was able to kind of like assert myself a little faster with other people. And I really creative. I love reading and writing, and my joys are like television and film and music. So just being able to like talk about this every single day is a dream come true, honestly.
Yeah. So Dalisbeth and Cheryl, how did you both know you were on the right career path?
Oh, I feel like once I set my mind to something, that's what it's going to be. But I think, as I talked about before, for me, it was a feeling of, I am really enjoying this. I'm having fun when I'm doing it. And I started to realize that people would associate me as the face of like this organization. They would ask me like, hey, what's going on with this? What's going on with that? And, I would always be able to answer in a way that would inspire them, get them to like join our events and join our group. And so it was that feeling of, I'm spreading this kind of love for what I'm sharing about. And it all kind of goes back to that storytelling. I've always loved books. So having a good story to tell is, and being able to craft that is something that I really love. But I'm also, another thing that I would say is I'm also very type A. And you have to be very detail oriented to be in public relations. There's many other, roles. And also really good at writing. I do a lot of writing every single day. And being able to craft that story is really where that strength comes into play.
Sure. What about you, Cheryl? How did you know this was the right career path for you?
I think for me, it was because I think I have a good eye for like mixing aspirational and attainable items. So I really got to like work with a lot of brands over the last few years. And just when I work on their campaign, I ask them like, what is the objective and how I can, produce that content for them, how I can be part of that campaign to bring it to a success. So I feel like I've always had that eye for it, like knowing, okay, I can like, for example, like working with Banana Republic, like what they want to do for spring, I can bring that out. And also because I'm also 5'2", being petite size, there are a lot of women who like come to me and say, how did you put this together? Do you alter your clothes? And I'm like, most of the time I'm like, I don't really like altering my clothes. So I like to find things that actually fit. And so I think that was my strength. And I always kind of knew that because, again, like when I first started working in the boutique, because of the compliments and, people would say, oh, I love what you, so I knew that was something that I wanted to do and really like be part of when the influencer world started, growing. Yeah, that's.
Yeah. And just going off of that too, I know you mentioned a few things that you love about being a content creator, but do you want to elaborate a little bit more about what you love most about the work that you do? And for example, when you're in your zone of genius, which is what Step Up calls doing something that you love to do that makes a tremendous contribution to others, how does that make you feel? Or sorry, I got distracted, my phone's going off. What do you love most about the work that you do?
I think the best part is when I get DMs from my community saying that you inspired me. I just, had a baby. It's taken me a while to get out of my funk, and you've inspired me to like get ready and dress up and go out. Even on date nights, she's like, I've gotten DMs like, I can't wear heels a lot. I've got kids running around. I'm also like petite like you, but you look stylish. So like things like that. I think when I hear them say that they are happy and they found something like a pair of flats that make them look chic, that makes me happy. I feel like I've brought somebody out of their comfort zone or their funk, and just like, for travel, like, I've been traveled in years and I want to do a little travel list or what I should buy for, this vacation I'm taking on. So things like that, when they come to me for advice, it feels really good. It feels like I'm putting some value in there for them, makes them feel good, That's the best part, honestly.
Yeah, it's awesome. What about you, Eliana? What do you love most about the work that you do?
Now that I've gotten into this management position, I definitely love the mentorship aspect of it all the most. I've had 3 or 4 assistants now that I've been promoted to junior account managers, but they've had 3 to 4 promotions in the year. At least every single year someone on my team gets promoted, which is really exciting to see and kind of foster in the new leadership teams that are coming through, and really just able to shape young careers is really exciting. And I had great mentors coming up in the industry, and I was really lucky to work with some really powerful women, and I still do, but it's really exciting to be the one that actually gets to help with that.
Sure. What about you, Dalisbeth?
There's so many things, but I think the most is actually one of the reasons that I got into PR in the first place. It's being able to give back to, my community and communities in need. And knowing that a lot of communities don't, sometimes they just need a voice, someone to be their voice. And just being able to do that and, do that with pride, show the very best of those communities. That was one way that I felt that I could contribute to making those voices seen and heard and celebrating those voices. And I think that's the best part about it. And one of the reasons why I joined Visible in the first place is because, you don't see really wireless carriers, talk about social impact. And for me, that was near and dear to my heart. And I also am a customer. So it offered me an opportunity to continue doing some really impactful work. And I get to collaborate with Sarah Glickstein a lot, who is our social impact lead. So that's just continuing to do what I love.
It's cool. It's very heartwarming to know that you guys love what you do, which is why you're doing it, right? Okay, so I would love to hear what the biggest piece of advice is that you received from your career journey.
I can start with this one. My biggest advice was it's better to be kind than to be right. So sometimes even when you have the right answer, you need to just let the chips fall where they may and just take the kind of the higher road. A lot of the times, especially in branding and partnerships, not only are you dealing with Hollywood, like I deal with agents, managers, and all these incredibly powerful people, but then you're on the brand side. So it's a lot of ego shifting, of course, like that's the real of Hollywood for you. Then I think a lot of the mentors here can attest to that. But it's really about making sure that you represent yourself and who you are and your values, and don't compromise on that.
I can go next. And I think for me is staying true to myself, because there's no one like me out there, even though this influencer world is grown so much and there's so many of us, but we all so different and we all have our own niche, and you can always find strength in something in your own strength. And I think that's the best advice you could, someone's ever given me. Like, just stay true to yourself. It sounds cheesy, but find your own voice and stay true to it.
I would totally have to agree with that. I'll remix it because it's saying the exact same thing, but this is the exact phrase that I actually have on a Post-it note on my computer. And it's, your voice is what got you where you are, so trust it. So 100% agree with you on that. It reminds me to speak my truth, remember that I got to where I am because of a reason. And that reason is, me speaking up, me voicing my opinions. And then I did want to share a second one, which is a little bit more general, but I think especially for our young adults, it's important to hear, and it's feel the fear and do it anyway. It's very, very important. Not a lot of people, they say, go out and do it, but they don't really speak to the fear that's behind not taking that first step. So you just have to be confident in yourself and feel okay that, there's a little bit of fear behind it. It just means that, there is so much opportunity waiting on the other side.
I love that. I heard a saying similar to that in Spanish, which is sin miedo, without fear, like go on without fear. So that's an affirmation I also use. So awesome. Thank you all for being here and sharing your experiences. We loved hearing about your journeys and exploring your interests and turning them into fruitful careers. We have some time for questions from the audience. So audience, if you guys want to raise your hand on the reaction bubble here. And yeah, the floor is all yours.
Can mentors ask questions too? All right. So I have just recently jumped onto this TikTok wagon, right? I mean, I think probably right when COVID started. So it's gotten very interesting and fascinating. They have food delivery services. So the question is, how do you stay on top of innovation from an influencer perspective to ensure that you're always innovating and staying ahead of the curve? And that question is really for anyone.
From a branding perspective, it's really hard. It's because it's not only just following into current trends, it's making the next one. So it's a lot of research. I mean, I'm on all of the websites all the time, but it's also having a great team of well-connected people that all have different viewpoints and different, honestly, in this instance, like they have a different algorithm than you, and you want to make sure that we're seeing everything across the board. And that's why it's really important to have multiple personality types and multiple backgrounds and all these things into these fields, because you never know where the next big idea is going to come from.
Yeah, and just to build off of that, I think I've seen a lot in terms of not even just for sure creating, like thinking ahead and what's the next thing, but also you find so much in just tweaking something slightly and remixing it. A lot of what we have right now is just like, even in music, sampled, a lot of different trends like tweaked and it becomes something else. And even speaking to like technology wise, there's always things that are created for one reason when they start out, and in the future it's known for something completely different. And it's all because of how people adapt it and incorporate it into their own lifestyle. And there's just so much innovation in that, and just diving deep and using it how you feel you would want to use it, and letting people build off of it.
Awesome. Do we have any other questions?
Go ahead, Afnan.
Hello. Thank you so much for everyone who's speaking today. Your insight means everything. I just had a question for, I guess, in general. I'm going to be graduating this semester from college. I was just wondering if you guys have any advice for how to navigate this sort of like confusing time, and what you guys did during like when you guys were graduating. Yeah, that would be super helpful. Thank you so much.
Really big congrats on graduating. That's a feat, and it's a really exciting time, as much as it is stressful and confusing to kind of jump into adulthood and this next big thing. I think it's just, don't set so many expectations for yourself, and really find and try a lot of things first. I tried management first. I've tried casting first. I was working at different places, and nothing stuck until I got into the commercial department. So and it's the thing you might least expect winds up being the thing you love the most. So just go for it, try. I came to LA. I just knew I wanted to be here. So I worked my summer job, got a bunch of money, came here. First time in LA was the first time I got off the plane, and then just kind of kept pushing and making it work. If you are ready to bet on yourself, the sky's the limit for where you'll.
I can chime in to that as well. I don't know if you're a planner, or like super organized type A, but if you are, use that to your advantage. I will definitely say that. And then also, kind of building off of what I've said so far, it just ladders up to get involved. Like Aliana mentioned, it's just get out there and try different things. But if there's a student organization fair, the very first week, go out there. You'll be able to meet new people. You'll be able to see, what else aren't you aware of that you might want to try. And that's how I found, where I'm at now. It's because I got involved. I got out there and I signed up for things. You might sign up for way too many things, but that's okay. You can narrow it down. But yeah, I think that would be, my advice, and, just go for it, feel the fear, just do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in here because I am a Step Up alum. So just continue to show up for yourself like you're doing now, and speaking up in rooms where your voice is heard and the space is created for you. So yeah, and congratulations on graduating.
So exciting. Thanks for asking your question, Afnan. That was a good one. Jen, we have 2 minutes. What question do you have for our panelists?
I just wondered if you guys have seen much disruption in your industries with AI, and or how you think it's going to affect your industries in the future.
I can chime in if that's okay. So at Collab, we're encouraging content creators to actually use AI to their advantage and use it for as a tool. So we're having workshops with them on how to use ChatGPT and all these other AI resources, and using it to their advantage to create thumbnails if that's what they want to create for a YouTube video, or writing out captions for their Instagram stories or TikTok captions or whatnot. So use it more as a tool is what we're telling creators. So yeah, we're using it as an advantage.
On the brand side, we're using it really as a marketing tool. So it's just another platform for us to get a message out and be creative about it. So kind of how we have in-person experiential activations, we're trying to make that into the metaverse in a way, but also, you have these filters and all these other quirky things that AI kind of gives you, and that gateway. I will also say that we used ChatGPT to make a schedule the other day. It was the greatest thing of my life because it only took 5 seconds and I didn't have to do any work. So I was really into it. So it's all a blessing and a curse at the same time, but it changes how you do contracts. It changes all your rights and your licensing usage and kind of the nitty gritty of what we're doing over here. So it's a big change for this industry. And I think it's going to be really exciting.
Okay, Rocio, I might need to join one of your workshops because I feel like I need to learn and stay abreast on all of this. And sounds like it's a huge time saver. So please, I'll do my own research, but we share resources here.
Yes, definitely let you know on the next one. When we'll have the next one for sure.
Perfect. Thank you, Rocio. And thank you again for moderating our panel with our awesome interest experts. You all were great and dropped some real gems. We're going to transition into our breakout rooms for some mentoring and networking, where our young adults can ask more questions and hear from even more mentors too. If you don't have your LinkedIn handle ready, please get that ready. And Paige just invited us all to breakout room. So I will see you in about half an hour.
Few more seconds. I feel like I still keep seeing people jump in. So welcome back, everyone. I know I say this every session, but seriously, the breakout rooms are absolutely my favorite. And this was a great one once again.
So we are at our share out portion of our day of our event. So would love if a representative from each of the breakout rooms could share a highlight from your room. And we can start with mine.
A highlight from my breakout room session was that I learned like so much great tips from all the mentors about like how to stand out when it comes to applying for jobs. I remember Liz saying that it's super refreshing to see people who apply to um like send a simple thank you letter or even like writing like a handwritten note to your interviewer. And I remember Jen saying like it's so refreshing to see candidates who are super excited about the role, and also showing that interest by researching the background of the company that you're applying to. I thought all of those tips were super amazing, and thank you so much to the mentors for sharing these amazing advice with us. Yeah.
Thank you, Afnan. And I didn't ask this in my room, but would love if a mentor wanted to share a highlight as well from my room.
I'll share. I'm going to piggyback on what Afnan was talking about in terms of sending a follow-up note and being enthusiastic. I feel like we almost had a mini masterclass in the interviewing process with all of the great tips that the mentors came up with in terms of what is going to help you get the job. So I thought it was great.
Thanks so much, Liz. And yes, we absolutely did. We had a great question about how to stand out in the hiring process, and the mentors did not disappoint. From the before the process, before the interview, during the interview, and after interview tips. They were all really, really great. So thank you again. Sophia's room, would love to hear a highlight from your room.
I had Lorraine, Melanie, Danielle, Riley as our young adults. So would love to hear any takeaways from you all. And then our mentors shared so many gems, and I'm sure there's just like more in there. So love to hear maybe Lorraine, if you have any takeaways from our breakout room.
Why you always put me on a spot like this? Okay, yeah, I would say like one of the biggest takeaways from one of our mentors, I feel like what I learned the most was just I really just, me always being a little bit more vulnerable. It's just like I shared a little bit about me like lacking that self-confidence during the job process or job interview process. And like I said, a lady, she basically was, just giving me some pro tips, and one of the mentors was just like, adding back and just really just adding on some really valuable tips, which was like learning to like, gain that confidence. And I feel like just to like, just to really like put yourself out there. I think that's what Lisa was saying. I'm not sure, somebody said that. But yeah, that's definitely one of the highlights right there.
Lots of tips of how to be a team player and to lead with curiosity and to be somebody that everybody wants to work with too, right? There was a lot of like friendliness, a lot of really good tips from our mentors. Thanks, Lorraine, for sharing. And not sorry to put you in the spotlight. Any of our mentors want to share a gem, something that stuck out to you from our room?
I think all of the young adults, even just here in general, you guys are all making the right first steps, and you're seeking connections and you're seeking networking, and the fact that you're so engaged with Step Up and take every opportunity is really, really impressive and brave. And I don't think I could have done it at your age. I wouldn't have done it the same way for sure. And I definitely admire all of you, and I wish I made the decisions like this.
Thank you, Eliana. We appreciate and we tell our Step Up young adults every day how impressed we are with them. But seriously, we appreciate how you all show up and participate. It really makes my job, makes me love it each and every day. All right, it's poll time, friends. So we want to hear from our 18 and 29-year-olds, our young adults, mentors. If you have any feedback, we would love to hear it as well. Please email Sophia. But we're going to get started with our first poll question, which will be popping up on your screen. So after this session, how confident do you feel about exploring a career based off your interests? Much more than before, more than before, equally as much, less than, or much less? All right, we can move on to our next question. In which ways did the mentors, both panelists and breakout room mentors, maximize your experience in this session? And this is a select all that apply question. They helped me feel motivated. They helped me learn new skills. They helped me gain access to places and spaces. They helped me in ways not listed here, or they didn't help me in any way. There we go. I'm not sure if that was showing up, but popped it back up there. Okay, we're good now. Thank you. Give it a few more seconds. Okay, I think we're all good. Thank you all for participating. All right, so moving on to our next steps and announcements. Young adults, are you ready for your next step in leadership, but struggle to see yourself as management material? Does the idea of addressing workplace conflict make you cringe? At Power Talks presented by Caritas, Managing Self and Others, we'll discuss how the skills you currently have align with what employers are looking for in a leader. We'll also explore different stress management styles to deal with conflict in the workplace. So join us tomorrow, really excited about this. So tomorrow, Wednesday, April 19th, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for this powerful discussion led by content creator Arshia Marjani. You can register at the link dropped in the chat, as well as mentors. Would love to see you all there as well. Yes, Afnan, don't we all? Would love to see you there. So Step Up is celebrating 25 years of mentoring girls in 2023. We want to invite all of our mentors to become a part of our community and help ensure the next 25 years of mentorship. So please consider making a donation today to support Step Up's continued impact. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or there will be a link in the chat as well. And we thank you in advance. And as always, thank you all for joining us today. Again, always enjoy Explore Interest and really enjoyed our conversation. I hope you enjoyed learning about how your career path by exploring your interests and growing your professional network. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon. Hopefully tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.